Have you started playing? Because there's no sound.
No, I haven't. I thought I was
Okay, all
just
right.
waiting for like 4, 5 plus. That's fine.
All right, I'm just asking. Okay, thanks.
So good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Yeah. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to today's Threat Intelligence Seminar program. Before we get into the real deal, we'll be doing our mandatory security awareness video where I play the video for 2 times and then we answer the questions before our resource person comes to deliver. So I'm going to play the video for the first time and also do so for the second time before we proceed.
A crime ring called The Community was recently busted for stealing $2.4 million from victim bank accounts. The funds were stolen using a hacking method known as SIM card hijacking.
I need you to call me now.
What? I'm right here. Just tell me what you want to tell me.
Please just call my phone, okay? I think we've been hacked.
What makes you think that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the $8,000 missing from our bank account? I didn't make that transfer, did you?
No, but I thought we have two-factor authentication.
We do. But hackers have figured out a way of getting around 2FA using something called SIM card hijacking. I want you to call my phone so I can test my theory.
The call's ringing on my end, but not on yours.
Exactly. Confirms what I thought. My SIM card's been hijacked.
Hello?
Someone just picked up.
Hello?
Seriously?
Anyone there? Hello?
You hijacked my SIM card. Return our money now. Do you hear me? This is maddening.
I know it is, but listen. We need to stay calm and think through this, okay?
Okay.
Just so I know what we're dealing with, how does SIM card hijacking work?
Usually, it's done by a hacker impersonating the victim. They call your wireless provider pretending to be you and ask them to port your number to a new SIM card.
What do you mean port your number?
Basically, they reassign your phone number to a different SIM card, one that the hacker has in their possession and can put into their phone. This makes the hacker's phone receive your calls and texts. So when a banking or some other site sends you a 2FA code via text message, it goes to the hacker instead of you.
Wouldn't the hacker also need your username and password to access your account?
Yes, but those credentials are often easily obtained through phishing scams or compromised credentials feed. What we should have done is set up a port validation passcode with our provider. A numerical code only we would know and could give them over the phone, allowing them to identify us anytime a porting change request is made. This would have stopped the hackers in their tracks.
Are you calling the bank?
No, the local authorities. A criminal organization running this exact same scam was just busted by the cyber crimes division of our police department. They managed to recover millions of stolen funds. Maybe they can help us too.
Yeah. Hello, Zilla. Zilla, can you mute your microphone? Okay, great. I'm going to play the video one more time and then we take the questions. I think it's fine now.
A crime ring called The Community was recently busted for stealing $2.4 million from victim bank accounts. The funds were stolen using a hacking method known as SIM card hijacking.
I need you to call me now.
What? I'm right here. Just tell me what you want to tell me.
Please just call my phone, okay? I think we've been hacked.
What makes you think that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the $8,000 missing from our bank account? I didn't make that transfer, did you?
No, but I thought we have two-factor authentication.
We do, but hackers have figured out a way of getting around 2FA using something called SIM card hijacking. I want you to call my phone so I can test my theory.
The call's ringing on my end, but not on yours.
Exactly. Confirms what I thought. My SIM card's been hijacked.
Hello?
Someone just picked up.
Hello?
Seriously?
Anyone there? Hello?
You hijacked my SIM card! Return our money now! Do you hear me? Ugh, this is maddening.
I know it is, but listen, we need to stay calm and think through this, okay?
Okay.
Just so I know what we're dealing with, how does SIM card hijacking work?
Usually, it's done by a hacker, impersonating the victim. They call your wireless provider, pretending to be you, and ask them to port your number to a new SIM card.
What do you mean, port your number?
Basically, they reassign your phone number to a different SIM card, one that the hacker has in their possession and can put into their phone. This makes the hacker's phone receive your calls and texts. So when a banking or some other site sends you a 2FA code via text message, it goes to the hacker instead of you.
Wouldn't the hacker also need your username and password to access your account?
Yes, but those credentials are often easily obtained through phishing scams or compromised credentials feed. What we should have done is set up a port validation passcode with our provider. A numerical code only we would know and could give them over the phone, allowing them to identify us anytime a porting change request is made. This would have stopped the hackers in their tracks.
You calling the bank?
No, the local authorities. A criminal organization running this exact same scam was just busted by the cyber crimes division of our police department. They managed to recover millions in stolen funds. Maybe they can help us too.
Okay, so for the sake of the people that just joined, I'm going to play the video one more time because the first one I played, I think we're having sound problem. It has been fixed now, so one last time, and then we get to the questions. Oh.
A crime ring called The Community was recently busted for stealing $2.4 million from victim bank accounts. The funds were stolen using a hacking method known as SIM card hijacking.
I need you to call me now.
What? I'm right here. Just tell me what you want to tell me.
Please just call my phone, okay? I think we've been hacked.
What makes you think that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the $8,000 missing from our bank account? I didn't make that transfer, did you?
No, but I thought we have two-factor authentication.
We do, but hackers have figured out a way of getting around 2FA using something called SIM card hijacking. I want you to call my phone so I can test my theory.
The call's ringing on my end, but not on yours.
Exactly. Confirms what I thought. My SIM card's been hijacked.
Hello?
Someone just picked up.
Hello?
Seriously?
Anyone there? Hello?
You hijacked my SIM card! Return our money now! Do you hear me? This is maddening.
I know it is, but listen, we need to stay calm and think through this, okay?
Okay.
Just so I know what we're dealing with, how does SIM card hijacking work?
Usually, it's done by a hacker impersonating the victim. They call your wireless provider pretending to be you and ask them to port your number to a new SIM card.
What do you mean, port your number?
Basically, they reassign your phone number to a different SIM card, one that the hacker has in their possession and can put into their phone. This makes the hacker's phone receive your calls and texts. So, when a banking or some other site sends you a 2FA code via text message, it goes.
Wouldn't the hacker also need your username and password to access your account?
Yes, but those credentials obtained through phishing scams or compromised credentials feed. What we should have done is set up a port validation passcode with our provider, a numerical code only we would know and could give them over the phone, allowing them to identify us anytime a porting change request is made. This would have stopped the hackers in their tracks.
You calling the bank?
No, the local authorities. A criminal organization running this exact same scam was just busted by the cyber crimes division of our police department. They managed to recover millions in stolen funds. Maybe they can help us too.
Okay. Okay, so welcome back from the video. Now let's get to the questions. I'm going to read the questions out loud. If you know the best answer or the most suitable answer to the question, you can just unmute yourself and then answer the question. So the first question reads, which of the following statements about SIM card hijacking is false? Option 1 says only landlines are susceptible to SIM card hijacking. Option 2 says SIM card hijacking can be used by hackers to bypass two-factor authentication. Option 3 says you can take steps with your cellular service provider to prevent SIM card hijacking. I read the question again. Which of the following statements about SIM card hijacking is false? Only landlines are susceptible to SIM card hijacking. That's 1. 2. SIM card hijacking can be used by hackers to bypass two-factor authentication. And option 3 says you can take steps with your cellular service provider to prevent SIM card hijacking. Any suggestion?
I think the first one.
Only landlines are
the first
susceptible to SIM card hijacking. Any other person? Do we all agree is the first option?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Question 2 is a true or false question. Most cellular service providers can implement additional security measures to prevent your SIM cards from being hijacked. True or false? Most cellular service providers can implement additional security measures to prevent your SIM cards from being hijacked. True or false?
That is true.
That is true. Okay. Then the third question asks, what is SIM card hijacking? Option A hacking method that reassigns your phone number to a different SIM card. Option B, a new cyber gaming technique. Option C, a digital tool for cooking your meal with your mobile phone. And option D is a fun activity to play with your coworkers.
The first option.
First option. That and the last question reads, it's possible for a hacker to steal your phone number, true or false? Another person, please. It's possible for a hacker to steal your phone number, true or false?
It's true.
Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so we got 100. Thank you all for your submissions. So the resource person for today is Madam Zilla Atapoku, and she will be walking us through telephone spoofing, some of the effective defense strategies, and also how to detect the spoofing techniques. So without further ado, I would call upon Madam Zilla to start with the presentation. Thank you. Zilla, can you hear me? Can I be heard, please?
Yeah, you can. Zilla is muted. I don't know if she can unmute herself. She's muted.
Hello, Zilla, can you unmute yourself? She's talking, but I think she's unmuted. So yeah. Yes. So whilst we wait for Zilla, she had a technical issue on her side, which is being resolved now. SIM card hijacking. Can somebody tell me what they learned from that? The video that we just watched. Anything at all that you picked from that video? Thomas?
Yeah, hello.
Michael? Yeah. SIM card hijacking. Can you tell
Well, I
us
learned
what you learned?
SIM card.
Okay, whilst we wait for Thomas, Michael Clotte, can you quickly tell us something?
Okay, so this is when the scammers, I don't want to use the word hijack, but they kind of swap your SIM number and take over your number, basically.
So what are some of the things you think you can do to prevent that from happening? Kwame, can you help us with that?
What are you asking?
Some measures to put in place to prevent SIM card hijacking.
Oh, okay. So SIM
Any
card.
security measures you put in place to prevent that?
All right. So what really comes to mind with SIM card hijacking? First of all, you have to make sure your SIM card is not accessible to anyone, because if it is, that is where someone could actually make a copy of it. And that's one way to deal with that. And also, what else comes to mind when it comes to SIM card hijacking? When it's cloned, text messages sent to that will go to copies of the clone SIM. So if that becomes an issue, the best way for multi-factor authentication should it be a SIM, but if you could actually use more of the app version of a multi-factor authentication where this is generated for you, that's actually a better way to use that if you're trying to avoid your SIM being hijacked and being used for accessing into an account. These are the three things that come to mind. But other than that, I'm sure there are more measures that you can put in place to actually avoid that from happening.
Okay, I think Zilla is here now. Thank you very much, Kwame.
I'm here, but I can't seem to share my screen.
Can you grant me access real quick?
Okay, so let's see. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's up now.
Okay, let's see. Okay. And I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. So we're going to start with the definition of the telephone spoofing. It is when a hacker or scammer disguises themselves as a trusted source to trick users into sharing private data. It can occur through websites, emails, texts, IP addresses, servers, phone calls. The main agenda is to steal personal information, money, or infect your device with a malware. Scammers can use fake information to alter the caller ID. A scammer can replicate your area code on a call to make it appear as a local number. Most scammers use the voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP, to perform caller ID spoofing. History of telephone spoofing. The origin of spoofing dates back to the 1800s and refers to any act of trickery or deception. In modern times, spoofing now refers to a type of cybercrime that involves scammers disguising their identity to trick unsuspecting individuals. Every spoofing attack also employs a certain degree of social engineering. Scammers use to manipulate human such as greed.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Saria, can you please mute your microphone?
Thank you. Scammers use it to manipulate human emotions such as greed, fear, and naivety to scam important data from their victims. This scam plays on a victim's fear and concern for their family to get victims to share information or send money. Most common targets are older adults who are less tech savvy and not aware of the warning signs. Real life scenarios. Fake job offers, fake banking related messages, fake lottery messages, money refund scams, and password reset messages. More real life scenarios. Let's see, actually right here, sorry. Signs you're being spoofed. 1, you get calls from unknown numbers. Consistent calls from unknown numbers are usually spoofed. Don't answer or hang up immediately. You're getting response. If you're getting responses to calls or texts that you never initiated, that could be a sign that your number has been spoofed. The caller ID info. The number on the caller ID is not recognizable or jumbled. Sometimes you get a phone call and you look at the caller ID and it's more than the regular 10 digits. And you're like, okay, you don't even recognize it. Even if it's an international code, you don't recognize it. That is one of the signs. The solutions and prevention. You turn on your spam filter. You read your messages closely because more often than not, there'll be a clue in there. You confirm the source. You confirm the source by not just, so someone says, I'm calling from your bank and this, that, and the next, and you're supposed there's a password error, you need to reset your password. You're like, oh, I'm sure. Which of my banks? That's a trick question for them. They don't know which one. They could say, maybe Bank of America. They're like, okay, I'm in the kitchen right now. Give me 5 minutes, I'll call you back. And you hang up. Now, do not call the number that called you right back. What you do is you grab a statement and look at the number on there for Bank of America. You call them and ask, did you just call me? The thing about the banks is the way their computers are set up, whenever any representative calls you, and they have thousands of representatives, whenever anybody calls you, it automatically leaves a trail on their system. So they could say, oh yeah, one of our associates called you, or no, we haven't called you today. Now install cybersecurity software and then use two-factor authentication. In the scenario we listened to during the preview of the seminar, they had a two-factor authentication, but they hadn't installed any cybersecurity software. So then, don't answer calls or emails from unknown senders. Allow them to leave you a message, and then you can go back later on and confirm if it was from the source that you know. And don't disclose any sensitive information over the phone. They say, oh, so we're trying to update your info. What's your password? No, you don't give your password out. What's the login ID? No, because normally your bank would not call you about your login ID. Your bank would not call you about a password unless you have a code, maybe a third code on your account. Your bank would never call you and say, could you verify your password? No institution will call you about that because no, it's supposed to be private. So the references that we used for this mini presentation was Knowledge Hat and pandasecurity.com. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, I would want to know the difference between the spoofing and then the phishing.
Okay, so with the pretty much they fall into the same general category. With phishing, they're trying to get information. So they're normally not sure if they're just trying to, pretty much they're trying to collect data to commit a crime. It could be the same, just like someone calls you with this phone number. Once they have spoofed your phone number, guess what? They are going to try and fish you for information. Do you get it? The spoofing is just the first step, but it's part of the phishing. It's like there are steps to getting your information. So the art of getting the information out of you, like, oh, especially if it's an elderly retired person who doesn't know anything about computers. So your bank said this, that, and the next. Getting that information from you is phishing. Now, getting you to answer the call or making it seem like the call is the number is one that you recognize, or saying, oh, this is your bank, that is the spoofing part. But getting the actual information from you, like talking to the person, then that is phishing, because you don't know what you're gonna get out of the person. And most of these elderly people in our society here are retired and bored. They want people to talk to. So you can just ask one question before you know what's up. They told you their whole life story, and you get more information than you asked for. So based on the information you ask them and what they've added to it, you can know that, okay, so her favorite granddaughter's name is Zilla. So if the bank asks what's the extra password, you can just enter Zilla. You know what I mean? And you can say, oh, Zilla, how do you spell this? Like Godzilla? They're like, oh no, she spells it differently. She spells it like Zillah, not with a God. So they start, phishing is just a conversational way of getting information to use for crime. And it could be crime to steal your identity, crime to steal your money, and the list goes on and on and on. So pretty much spoofing and phishing go hand in hand, because what is the point in calling me with my bank's phone number if you're not trying to get information out of me to perpetrate a crime? So you see, phishing and spoofing are twins, pretty much. Any other
Okay,
questions?
yeah, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pretty much, we all need to be careful. Every day you log into your phone, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's always some congratulations, you've won this. And in this day and age, people will say stuff like, you can't be that lucky. But then there are people out there who go like, oh, I did this and I really won. So you're like, you know what? I know someone who actually won. Let me just click on it. Now with that click, you've installed some kind of malware onto your system, and now they have access because they can see your keystrokes, they have access to your password, they see what you're doing. So we need to be careful. And if anybody calls us and says, I'm calling from whoever, always give them an excuse and tell them you call them right back. They are actually assuming they're going to call them back on the phone number they called you with, which happens all the time. People say they'll call back and they just redial the number. Don't do that.
No, I'll get a break from them. I don't care.
Nasaria, could you please mute your phone? Thank you. So never call them back on the number they called you on. That should be your first rule. You always call them back on the number that you have printed on some document that you receive from that company. That way you sure are calling the right place, because if you just redial, you're calling them right back and they're like, yeah, we just called you. So then naively you're like, oh yeah, so sure, it's the right people, right organization. Let me give them my info. Please don't do it. And we get a lot of email scam. Yes, most of us have the spam already going into the spam folder automatically, but some still come into our email. So don't assume that because it bypassed your spam folder, it's legit. It's not always legit. It's not always legit. And as I said, do not reach out to them using the same method they use to reach out to you, not with the same email, not with the same phone number. You'll be surprised if you look at the email they sent you, they reached out to you with, and the email of the company organization you've been dealing with, you see very little variation. So always go back to the one you know, the authentic one that you know, as in the documents you've received from your company or your organization or your bank, and reach out to them that way. If they haven't called you, they'll tell you haven't reached out to you. I mean, will you be able to be free of spoofing and phishing? Absolutely not. But you will minimize your risk. You'll minimize, your vulnerability to all the risk coming your way, because we are all at risk every day. Anything else? Yeah, other things with phishing and spoofing that we can talk about. We watch the video. It happens to a lot of people. So any scenarios, any examples, anything, this is interactive. So is there any experience you've had personally with this that you'd like to share? Because I know you're all on here. I don't want to call names. Any experiences? It may not be you directly, but it could be somebody you know. And how did you get out of it? How did you avoid it? Because every day I can actually almost look at my phone right now and I'll have a spam message in my text folder, because guess what? Maybe I've gone online and applied for a job and they've asked me for my phone number and stuff. It's not only the regular job board that you apply to that is picking that info. Scammers and hackers are going everywhere. They try every which way to reach out to you. So if I look at my text right now, I'm sure I'll see something. Congratulations, you've won this, or you're eligible for that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm not special. I'm not the only one. So please, let's be vigilant. This cybersecurity is not it's not a job. It should be our way of life. Otherwise, we are all at risk. Every single one of us. Even President Kwame, everybody's at risk.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. My name is Emma. I would like to share an experience that I had yesterday. And so I posted something that I wanted to sell on Facebook Market. And then somebody reached out to me if that thing was available. And then I responded, yes. He says, can I get your phone number so that I can call? So I sent my phone number to the person. And then he said, okay, for me to be sure that you are real, I'm sending you a code so that you can repeat the code for me. And then I would know that you are real. And I said, okay. I knew where he was going to. And I said, okay. So immediately I got a Google verification code. So I told him that, yes, I have the code, but I'm not sending it to you because I know you are a scam. He said, oh, no, it's because I sent you the code. And I said, you know what? Just the code that you sent, it even said that you shouldn't share this code with anyone. And it was like, oh, no, because I sent you the code. That's why I said, okay, then I'm calling so that you know that I'm also real. And I said, you know what? I'm not sharing any code with you. He said, oh, I want to buy the thing. Or just give me the code and I will let you know, how much I can offer for that. And I said, you know what? For your information, I'm a cyber security analyst. So I know where you are going to. And then immediately he didn't respond again. He never sent back any messages again. So like it's very real. Imagine that I really wanted to sell the thing and then I gave him the code. It would have been another story. So we have to be vigilant. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really an interesting one.
Yeah, but you know something interesting? I can actually see someone, it could be any one of us. Maybe we're in the middle of something when this person, while maybe talking to the person, because we are distracted, we'll go like, oh, sure. Here's the code, because you're not paying attention. And thank God that you were paying attention, because I can actually see anybody going like, oh, sure, here's the code. Because you're like, yeah, they just send me the code. They just, what's the big deal? They want to buy this. So we need to be vigilant, because as soon as you said you know where they're going with this and you're a cybersecurity analyst, they were like, uh-oh, wrong candidate. And then they didn't even engage anymore. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because anybody who was distracted will not even think it through and give them the code. So thank you for not giving them the code.
You're welcome.
Any other scenarios? We have a good 15 minutes to go. Is Mr. Kwame on the line? I'm sure he's experienced a few
I'm
things.
here. Yeah, there's
I'm
one
sure-
that I've learned recently. So we do have a group chat for the cybersecurity class. Oh, sorry, for this threat intelligence seminar. So a number of people are on there, and Pradeep normally would update everyone if there is seminar coming up, and then that's where he even does the advertisement on a weekly basis if we have threat intelligence coming on. What I've learned is that there are some people on the page that are actually looking for others' phone numbers, and then they are reaching them on the side. I had one student reaching out to me asking me if I knew this person, and I said no. Then I should ask the person why the person is reaching out to them. Say, oh, he works for Software Freak, and then he's part of the threat intelligence seminars on the weekend, sorry, on weekdays, on Wednesdays, and blah, 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 blah. And he happens to mention a few of the names of the guys that are here, just so it seems like he's aware, he's part of us and that kind of thing. I'm like, no, this guy is not somebody that works for us. And so if they're asking you for anything, don't give it out. So I'm beginning to suspect some people are actually joining the group. They're joining the threat intelligence group chat just so they can actually find phone numbers of others and reach out to them. And so we should be very careful if anybody's reaching out to you and they're mentioning names like, oh, they are with Software Freak and they're part of us and that kind of thing. If they're asking you for anything that I wouldn't ask for, anything like that, because nobody here will be asking you for anything like in terms of like favor or anything. We are here to just learn. That's it. Nothing more than that. So I think this is actually an avenue for me to be able to let you guys know that we have to be vigilant. If people are reaching out to you to ask for personal information, do not give it out. That's not what we're here. We're not here for that. We're only here to actually learn. That's it. So if somebody happens to be on the page and they're hitting you up privately, asking you for sensitive information or anything, you don't have to give it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I guess scammers are shameless. It doesn't matter how authentic an avenue is, they will pretty much compromise it. I mean, this is threat intelligence. We are here to educate. It doesn't matter. They would use that avenue. So I'm sure we'll think, oh, we are all part of the threat intelligence seminar, so it should be okay. But no, it's not. So please, just like Amma also said, please, they would send you the Google code, authentic group that you should be talking to. Daniela, anything else?
I guess if Danny's not on the call yet, yeah, this brings us to the end of our presentation. Is that not, Angela?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, thanks everyone for making the time to join us today. And Zilla, thank you very much for making the time to also come educate us on what you also know in cybersecurity. This is Software Freak. We do this once every week. And we are encouraging everyone to make time to actually join us every Wednesday around this time to actually learn something from the resource persons that we'll have. And this is something that we are also looking to actually have the time change, because I've had reports from a number of people that are interested in joining this meeting, but the timing is not favorable. And so we'll be reaching out to a few of you to actually seek your views on what time will be suitable. So in a few weeks to come, we'll actually start sending out some kind of communication to let you guys know that's a registered time that we're trying to move this to after we've found the perfect time that will work for everyone. And so we'll keep you all updated when that happens. Thanks everyone for making it today. We'll talk again next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.